Okay, so the status quo or historical relativity. So what that basically means is you take into account historical context when you were talking about the morality of something happening. So a great example of this is the famous photograph taken during the Second World War when everyone was saluting Hitler, and there was this one guy just standing there crossing his arms, not saluting Hitler. Now, I don't look, and you'll see this in my Who is the Real Villain video, I don't look at those guys as evil scum. Most of those people were not evil scum. They were radicalized by their head of state. And so they really weren't the evil scum that you think they are, unless you're saying that you're evil scum, in which case, then sure, they're evil scum. Because, actually, Annie actually mentioned this. She said those who, instead of saying historical relativity or saying status quo, she said, I really need to take this. I'm so sorry, guys. I need to. I keep forgetting to silence my phone. Okay, anyway. But instead, Annie actually mentions this, or should I say, Isayama mentions this, when she says those who go with the flow are worthless and evil, and those who go against the flow, those being not Winston Churchill, but the guy who crossed his arms, right? Other people who were within Nazi Germany, who were helping, Jews escape. Those people are special, good people, but the people who knew what was happening in the Holocaust, still turned people in, or fine with it, those people are worthless and evil, right? So it's one or the other. You are taking these options and you say they're just the same as you, right? Because when you see that your thought is, oh, I would have been the one not saluting Hitler. Why would I salute Hitler? When in fact you probably would. The other thing is slavery. Another thing. People are also like, oh, I would never support slavery. No way. And of course, I believe that you're genuine. But the thing is, when you're in that time period and you're benefiting from slavery, it's kind of hard to say, maybe we should let slavery continue. Maybe not. The John Browns, those people are special. Everyone else is just worthless and evil, right? John Brown went against the status quo, went against the flow, went against his historical context, and as a white person fought for slavery. For the abolition of slavery. Now, saying that, I bring that up to say that Marley went against the status quo, pushed against the flow, and did the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do. When you go against the flow, you're supposed to do something good. These people did something evil instead. They decided to use these children as leverage for their little war games, and that's why they are particularly evil, and that's why the people who in Marley are really not as evil as you think they are, especially the warrior candidates, because they grew up in this environment, and this is all they know, and that is their historical context. Right, and of course, Annie has no problem calling herself worthless and evil. And neither does Reiner, neither does Bear Balloons, or anybody. They all feel like they've done something wrong. Okay? But it still should be noted what time period was. So, taking all that into account, who is really responsible for the Stohess test? And let's not forget one important character that we've been avoiding talking about, which is Bucket Girl, aka Ymir Fritz. Actually, Ymir Fritz, aka Bucket Girl. Because remember, she's the one who created both of those forms in the first place. And she's the one who made it so the founder did what the founder did, and the Bad 29's War, and so on and so forth. This meaning that, is she responsible? Because she did actively make their forms. I mean, Annie transformed and killed those people in her transformation, and then subsequently slaughtered people after her transformation. She did it. She's the one who made the form. When Aaron transformed, and he didn't slaughter anyone when he transformed per se, but he did slaughter people after transformed. Is she to blame? Well, if you know the full story, you would say, well, of course not. I mean, how could she be to blame? You have the king who took advantage of her desire for love and abused her and made her into this, what she is now. So whatever she did is King Fritz's fault. You're not gonna really hold her accountable or be angry at her. You hold King Fritz responsible. Now you're blaming people who died in Stohess in 845 or 850 to a king that died 2,000 years ago in Africa. Well, they're still in Africa, mainland Africa. We're now spinning out of control. We've gotten from just, okay, the person who took the action is responsible, to now this far-flung, but think about it. We say Hitler killed 12 million people, right? We say Hitler. We say Mao Zedong killed 100 million people, right? But what was Hitler doing when he was rounding up people for his concentration camps? He was probably not there. He was miles and miles away. What was Mao Zedong doing? He was miles away. What the British in the potato famine? They were miles away. How can you blame them for potato famine? What about British Raj? How could you blame them? They were thousands and thousands of miles away from India. How can you blame the British for India? The thing is, when people with power and knowledge do something evil, particularly evil, against the status quo, against the flow, that then precipitates into disaster far away from their domain. This physical domain, I mean influence domain. Far away from their domain. So, that being said, who's responsible for Stohess? And who's responsible for the deaths overall? As I said before, again, it's up to you. Again, I hate saying that, but it is a manga series, so it doesn't really matter. But it is up to you, so to speak. What principles do you think Annie should have done? You think Annie should have let her father die, or not see her father? Do you think she should have bravely went against the mission and let herself face whatever punishment she was going to face? Do you think she should have exposed herself to the Survey Corps? What do you think? Do you think that Ymir Fritz is responsible because she had all the power? Do you think the Survey Corps shouldn't have done something that would knowingly lead to people's deaths? Do you think Aaron's responsible because of his lack of care or awareness for civilian lives? What do you think? Again, this video is really not going to change anyone's opinions. I just want to, have a conversation and really appreciate the moral implications, and explicitly and implicitly, because again, a lot of these are explicit, very explicit over this, and how complex and nuanced and nice it is, and how, again, this sort of correlates to the real world, right? So, anyway, that's the video. If you like the video, do YouTubers feel like share, comment, subscribe, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, and if you have any video suggestions, you are also welcome to put down in the comments. That is appreciated. If you found me on Reddit, it's comment number 2. Just comment the number 2. Alright, anyway, thank you. Have a good day.